very warm welcome to the Swedish Institute. My name is Cecilia Sternemo and I'm the Deputy Director here at the Institute. We have had the pleasure to work with I-ACT on several occasions during the past years, and Mahmoud Abu Doma. It's become sort of a tradition to once a year hold these cultural conventions. And it's a great pleasure, of course, to have all of you here from near and far. The Swedish Institute in Alexandria has been around now for 12 years. We are a dialogue institute under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Sweden. And we were established in year 2000 according to an agreement between the Egyptian state and the Swedish state. And since then, we've been working in different fields, but come to focus more on issues of human rights, democracy, values, and women's rights in particular. This building has not only been a dialogue institute, it's been around since 1925. And was built by a man who came here when he was only 24. He was of noble birth in Sweden, Carl Wilhelm von Gerber. And he started a business here by selling wood and exporting wood, Swedish wood in the region. And then he built this grand house and also became the consul of Sweden and was the consul till 1951. When this building was donated to the Swedish church after he passed away a few years after that. So this has been a cement church until the 90s, mid-90s. And then there was this negotiation within the Swedish authorities whether this should continue to be an empty cement church or we do something else. And then they decided to, together with the Egyptian state, to establish this Dialogue Institute. So this is what we've been doing ever since. We are a regional setting, so we don't only work with Egyptian organizations or authorities and so on. We work throughout the whole region, and we hold seminars in other countries also. We've been quite a lot recently in Tunisia, but also in Lebanon and Jordan, but even so in Sweden. And next week, a group of women from the Arab world and men also, members of the Arab Women think tank, are going to Sweden to participate in the political week of Almedalen. This is just briefly about the activities we have here at the Institute. I'm very glad that this convention finally is taking place, and we're also, of course, experiencing historical happenings today with the presidential elections results being announced later on. I wish you all a good and fruitful workshop, and with that I will leave the floor to Ustaz Abu Doma. Thank you.
أنا كنت بدي أبدأ أعرف محمود بس طلع التعريف الأساسي محمود بس برضه أوكي. أهلا وسهلا فيكم، صباح الخير. أنا سيرين حليلة من الملتقى التربوي العربي. بما إنه إحنا باسكندرية، لو كنا بعمان بديت بالترحيب فيكم بس عيب يعني، والأستاذ محمود أبو دومة موجود فرح أعطي الكلمة صاحب البيت يعني، فتفضل.
صباح الخير. بيسعدني ان انا ارحب بيكم جميعا في المؤتمر بتاعنا في يوم تاريخي في مصر. مصر كلها دلوقتي بتتحرك وفي حراك حقيقي بيحصل، وفي اختبار لكل الشعارات اللي اتطرحت قبل كده. النهاردة هنقدر نعرف جدواها، بس ده موضوع تاني هنتكلم فيه بعدين. أنا اسمي محمود أبو دومة، أنا مدير المؤسسة الدولية للإبداع والتدريب في اسكندرية، وهي مؤسسة معنية بالإبداع ومعنية بالتدريب خصوصا في مجال البرفورمينج آرتس. بنشتغل بقالنا سنوات كتيرة هنا في اسكندرية، ما يقرب من 20 سنة تقريبا. وكانت الشغلة أو العمل الأساسي بتاعنا هو توسيط أو التوسل بالفن كوسيلة للتغيير الاجتماعي. عندنا مبادرات كتيرة جدا بنشتغل عليها. عندنا أول كوميونيتي سبيس في اسكندرية اللي هو تياترو اسكندرية. بنشجع اللقاءات على المستوى الإقليمي وعلى المستوى المحلي، اللقاءات الفنية طبعا، وعلى المستوى الدولي. بيهمني جدا ان انا يعني ارحب واحيي بالملتقى التربوي العربي اللي قدر ان هو يحول الافكار العظيمة دي لواقع ملموس، ومؤسسة روبرتو شميتا اللي طلعت دايما بدعم فكرة التجوال، وباقي الشركاء المحيطين بينا، المعهد السويدي اللي بيرعى المشروعات اللي بتدعم الحوار وتبادل الخبرات بين الشباب. وكمان بحيي كل الشركاء على مساهمتهم الكبيرة في تحقيق المؤتمر ده وانه اصبح حقيقة ملموسة. مرة تانية مصر النهاردة بتدخل التاريخ. الساعة 3 هيكون في رئيس جديد في مصر، فاللحظة بالنسبة لنا كلنا يعني أوروبيين عرب مصريين لحظة هتكون تاريخية جدا، وان انتوا هتحضروا معانا ميلاد أول رئيس بعد 60 سنة من الديكتاتورية ومن احتجاز أحلام المصريين في منحنيات كتيرة جدا. وصحيح في صراع محتدم بين رئيسين وبين فريقين، لكن في الآخر في مصر واحدة نتمنى جميعا إنها ما تدخلش مرة أخرى في نفق مظلم. صباح الخير ويوم سعيد. ودلوقتي هرجع تاني لزميلتي وصديقتي الجميلة سيرين حليلة علشان ألتقي بيكم. كل المحبة والاحترام ليكم. شكرا.
شكرا. هذا اللقاء يعني وليد لقاء آخر كان المفروض يكون في اسكندرية العام الماضي بفبراير، وبعدين تأجل وعملناه بشهر 6 بعمان. وعشان هيك هذا كان واحد من الأسباب الإضافية اللي أصرينا إنه هذا اللقاء يكون باسكندرية، مع إنه قبل شهرين إحنا كمان كنا متقلين على اي اكت وعملنا كمان لقاء كتير كبير في اسكندرية. فيعني يبدو وكأنه إحنا احتلينا بس هي مش هي مش هيك. بس لأنه كتير بيسعدنا دايما نكون باسكندرية ومع شركاء اي اكت. بحب أعرفكم على الشريك الآخر في الجريمة، فرديناند ريشار، هو رئيس مجلس أمناء روبرتو شميتا فاند. والحقيقة يعني هالصندوق اللي صار له أكثر من 12 سنة بيدعم تجوال الفنانين حول المتوسط، كتير أعطى نموذج ملهم لكتير فنانين وكمان لأفكار من ضمنهم كان سفر. لك فرديناند.
Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm extremely happy to be in Alexandria, which I know a little bit because I have also some other activities, and I give some lectures to the Leopold Senghor University, which is just a few blocks away. So this is not my first time in this city, but it's always a delight to come back. Of course, in a very special day. So yes, it's really an outstanding surrounding. So it's really a very important thing for me to be here. Just a few words about the Roberto Chimeta Fund. The Roberto Chimeta Fund is a very simple idea, and it's probably why it has been quite successful in the past 14 years, 12 years. it is just providing travel grants, so to say, plane tickets to artists or cultural activists in the frame of the Euro-Arab dialogue. So it seems to be simple, but in fact, when it's like a pullover, when you begin to, pull the thread, you have plenty of questions that are coming with this mobility question. And this is a very exciting position because from the mobility issue, you little by little, you really address many other issues. And maybe I would like to stress one. We had elections in my country. I'm French. I am the only French person in the board of the Roberto Cimetta Fund. This is not a European organization. This is a, from the law, from the legal point of view, it's European, but the board is consisting of persons coming from both the Arab world and from Turkey and from the Balkans and from Western Europe. In my country recently we had these parliamentary elections, and I am living in Marseille, in the poorer suburbs of the city, where the National Front, the xenophobia is growing very much, although this place is of course made of a lot of people coming from all the corners of the world and all the corners of the Mediterranean Sea. And if you try to speak with these people who vote for the extreme right in my country, and if you accuse them of racism, they said, of course, we are not racist, but these people have their culture, we have ours, we cannot mix. They are there, we are here. There is some kind of invisible but very strong wall, and we cannot really discuss together, so they should stay there. They should not take jobs of us. We stay there and we try to live in peace, but there is no contact. There is a very quick limit to any kind of contacts. And this kind of attitude is fueling probably one of the most dangerous threats to the world peace. I would like, of course, I have myself, in my organization, we have an incubator for small and medium enterprises. So I know what culture can bring in terms of economic development, job creations, etc. But really, this is not the main issue. No peace, no business. So I think the biggest contribution of culture to the world is the peace factor, the dialogue factor. And for me, mobility is also one of the very direct and very good weapons against this terrible philosophy, which is still and still more today developing, like the clash of civilization that Mr. Huntington is always talking about. It's really, really where we have to be very prudent, and we have to keep things open. And you cannot keep this dialogue open without mobility, but a good one. We are no travel agencies. We are not here to help young creators, young developers to rejoin the golden triangles of the world, where you have all the medias, all the money, all the famous people, etc., etc. The paradox is that we need mobility to develop our local places, and what we have looked in the Roberto Cimetta Fund is that what is the most important in the travel is when you go back home, and what you bring back home, and how it will be useful for the rest of your community at home in terms of development. So if you start pulling that thread, then you come to autonomy, you come to local development, you come to the recreation of local industries, I think cultural industries. I think this is also an issue we have to address. In the Western world, we believe that cultural industries are all the same. I am also an expert for the International Fund for Cultural Diversity at UNESCO, and we know now very clearly that one of the biggest threats to the development of local cultural industries are global cultural industries. So they are not the same. They are not going in the same direction. And this is something we have to address very strongly to Europe. If Europe, for example, wants to speak about cultural dialogue with its neighborhoods, including the South, it has to understand that the only way to develop this dialogue and this fair, equitable relationship is to do its best to develop local initiatives, local cultural industries in a partnership, in an equal partnership. And this is something we really have to push with the mobility. Last but not least, I was with recently in a meeting in Brussels where a very important person said that one of the worst indicators of this disbalanced relationship was the fact that many of the South Arab cultural activists were partners in, for example, Annalyn Foundation program. Many of them, they were partners, but very few of them were project leaders. It means that you can participate so far to international cultural relationship, but you are not the project leaders. And why, the question is, why there are so few project leaders from the South? We need much more. Cyrene and some other friends, in fact, are exceptions. There should be much more projects coming from the South, eventually addressing European partners, but not the way around. I mean, this is also this balance. All this has to deal with mobility. So if we start talking about artist and cultural activist mobility, we begin to address all these issues, and I guess this is the frame of this conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. قبل ما نبدأ باللقاء وبمضمون اللقاء، يعني انتم تعرفتوا على محمود ابو دوما اي اكت وفردينا ريشار عن روبرتو تشيماتا فند، وانا عن الملتقى التربوي العربي، بس الحقيقه هي انجي كوت هي الدينامو تبع روبرتو تشيماتا فند، وتالا نابلسي الملتقى التربوي العربي، وامينه ابو دوما اي اكت. بس زقفه لهم لانه هم اللي اشتغلوا كثير على انه نكون هون موجودين معكم. احنا المنظر حطونا عشان نحكي، بس هم متخبيين، بس ما بيصير يتخبوا. اوكي، مش رح احكي لكم كثير عن الملتقى التربوي العربي، بعضكم بيعرف عن برنامج سفر ويمكن برنامج حكايه، وبنقدر نحكي اكثر بالتفاصيل بعدين. بس بدي اقول لكم انه احنا موجودين هون لنطبخ مع بعض. احنا كل الملتقيات تبعتنا، طبعا اللي بيجي على المكتب في عمان بيعرف اهميه الطبيخ والاكل بالنسبه لنا، فكمان احنا لما بنشتغل على الافكار كمان بنعتبرها طبيخ. فاحنا جايين نطبخ مع بعض، وكل واحد يعني عنده المكونات اللي بدها تدخل فيها الطبخة. فإذا حطيت هالمكونات، هي كانت الطبخة طبختك، وإذا ما حطيت هالمكونات بتكون طبخة غيرك. بجوز يطلع طعمها زاكي وبجوز لا، بس على الأقل يعني بتحمل الواحد مسؤولية إذا الطبخة منيحة ولا لا. فبنتأمل إنه الكل يحط مما عنده، لأنه كمان بهمنا بهذا اللقاء ما في إشي محدد بالضرورة بدنا نطلع منه. في اشياء طبعا بتهمنا انها تطلع من هذا اللقاء اللي موجودة بالاوراق اللي ارسلت لكم، لكن الاساس هو اللي رح يصير ما بيننا من ناحية تبادل بالخبرات، تبادل بالفكر، وكمان بناء لفكر جديد من خلال هذا الحوار اللي رح يصير بيننا بشكل رسمي حوالين الطاولة، وكمان بشكل غير رسمي باللقاءات اللي يعني على القهوة، على الغداء، على العشاء، وما بعد العشاء للي بيسهروا، مش أنا بس، يعني اللي بيسهروا. فكل هذا مهم خلال هذول اليومين، وبنتأمل إنه يتحول لشراكات وعلاقات وصداقات قوية للمستقبل، مثل ما صار في لقاءات سابقة كمان نظمناها.